Breaking news coming out of Trinidad and Tobago. A woman has been arrested and detained for posting on social media that Venezuela should attack the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago's home. Yes, you heard me right. A woman has been detained because she called for Venezuela to attack the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago's private residence. This is not fake news. This is real news coming out of Trinidad and Tobago. Several other persons were also arrested. This war in the Caribbean is becoming more and more chaotic by the day. This decision was made by Parliament in Trinidad and Tobago. They actually went into Parliament and agreed to arrest this woman for what they call inciting violence against the Prime Minister herself. This news was carried by several news agencies, including the TNT Guardian. And I'm just going to read a little bit of what Trinidad and Tobago's Guardian said in a press release. This was written by Jensen Lavende. And the news article says, a detention order has been issued for a woman who posted an image of the Prime Minister's Philippine home on social media, calling on Venezuela to target it. The order, which was made on November 12th and gazetted yesterday, said that Olive Green Jack should be held for her social media post. The order stated that Green Jack, and I quote, this is what the order said, made an published public post and / or comments on social media addressed to the Venezuelan government in an attempt to influence public opinion in a manner likely to be prejudicial to public safety. So they went into Parliament and they searched for a law that prohibits this. And they used that law to arrest and detain this woman who was on social media posting. We don't know if she was trying to incite violence or it was just a funny post. You know, people post on social media crazy things all the time. We don't know. All it says, the information is that the woman has been arrested and several other persons. So the Trinidad and Tobago's government is now taking social media posts very serious, and they are arresting persons in Trinidad and Tobago who post anything that can jeopardize the lives of government officials or the Prime Minister in regards to this war with Venezuela that the US is conducting right now. So far, over 80 persons would have been killed in this war. 20-something strikes, destroying 20-something boats. This is no joke, my friends. This has been going on since the 2nd of September. Trinidad and Tobago is set to have another I think this is the third joint military exercise with the United States of America. There are up to 12 US warships in the Caribbean Sea, one of which is the largest military aircraft carrier and destroyer in the whole wide world, is now in the Caribbean. Imagine that. And the US is trying to convince the world that this massive military buildup is just to fight against drug dealers in the Caribbean. We all know that this is not true. This is something more than drug dealers. The US FBI alone can bring these drug dealers to justice. It didn't take 12 US warships, over 12,000 US sailors and Marines, lots of helicopters, lots of planes in the Caribbean to fight a handful of drug dealers. Why would it take so much military equipment in the Caribbean? Now, Trinidad and Tobago has came out and pledged support for the United States of America's military buildup in the Caribbean. They would have said that they want to eradicate drugs in the region as well, because drugs in that area is bad for Trinidad and Tobago. And the Prime Minister herself would have said that she prefers drug dealers to be blown up by the US military than for citizens of Trinidad and Tobago to lose their lives because of drug dealers. So for that reason, she said that she is pledging full support for the United States of America. And this is why the Trinidad and Tobago is on high alert, because Venezuela would have said that the US wants to use Trinidad and Tobago as a base to attack Venezuela, and that Trinidad and Tobago is being run by the United States of America right now. And Venezuela would have warned Trinidad and Tobago that if the United States of America attacks Venezuela, then Venezuela will respond with an attack on Trinidad and Tobago. Now, my friends, this is serious, because Venezuela is right next to Trinidad and Tobago. Just a little piece of ocean separate the two countries. So a missile can launch from Venezuela and strike Trinidad and Tobago. Will the US be able to defend the whole country? We don't know. This has never been done before. This has never been tested. We don't know what is in Venezuela. The Russians and the Chinese are supporting Venezuela, and most likely they will be supplying weapons to Venezuela. And this is why Trinidad and Tobago is not taking any chances, even with their own citizens. Whether they're making joke, whether they're doing Facebook posts, they're writing on social media and having a laugh, laughing about it, the government is taking anything to do with war and attacks on Trinidad and Tobago very, very seriously. So persons would have been arrested in Trinidad and Tobago. Green Jack, a woman, is being detained at the woman's prison in Trinidad and Tobago as we speak. I just read the news article for you from the TNT Guardian, which highlighted this very troubling story. All this is caused by a US military buildup. Why? This is not needed, my friends. This is not needed at this time. CARICOM would have called for the Caribbean area to remain a zone of peace. But the United States seem not to care anything about peace. Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister, Kamala Persad-Bissassa, would have said she wants to eradicate drugs in the area, so she doesn't want to hear any fancy talk about peace, my friends. If you're watching for the first time, please consider subscribing to this channel, because the mission of this channel is to bridge the gap between the African continent and the African diaspora, which is mainly the Caribbean nations, CARICOM. On this channel, I react to breaking news around the Caribbean and also on the African continent, and I post several times per week, sometimes every day. I may miss a day or two depending on the circumstances, but I try to post almost every day. So by you subscribing to the channel, you'll keep up to date with information that is happening, especially in the Caribbean and on the continent of Africa. I also have a travel channel. I posted a video on it this week, Beyond Traveling. The link is in this description box. Click the link and go on over and check that video out. I was talking about how this island that I'm on right now is the best place in the world to retire. So if you want to know the island that I'm on right now, go over to my travel channel, my new travel channel. Click the link in this description box. The channel is also posted on my on this page, featured on this page. Beyond Travel is the name of the channel. My name, Travel, that's the name of the channel, but the link says Beyond Traveling. The link is in this description box. Click the link and go on over and check it out. And if you like what you see, then subscribe to that channel, because on that channel we'll be doing travel vlogs and lifestyle vlogs, and just to show you around Africa and the Caribbean. That is my focus. We'll be talking about Africa and the Caribbean. Not only talk, but that channel is meant to show you the beauty of Africa and the Caribbean. So if you're interested in content like that, go on over and check that video out. The link is in this description box, and you can subscribe to that channel as well. I also have a membership platform on this channel. The link is in this description box. You can sign up and become a member of my channel. You can become a silver, gold, or platinum member. The link is in this description box. You can click the link and sign up to become a member. By you becoming a member, this will be showing this channel support so that we can build up and become stronger, my friends. We need to work together. This is why I'm calling for Africa and the Caribbean to bridge the gap and work together, my friends, because we need each other now more than ever. Right, this weekend, in other news, this weekend, the G20 summit will be held in South Africa. South Africa is the only black nation in the G20, and it is the first time in the history that the G20 summit is being held in South Africa. But the US, the United States of America, is boycotting this summit because it feels that South Africa doesn't deserve to be a part of the G20. So the US will not be sending any representatives, but South Africa would have retaliated and said that, if the US are not going to send any representative, the next year's G20 summit is supposed to be held in America. So America, they're supposed to hand over the G20 summit to America, and by doing so, normally the president of the country that is being held in will travel to the country that is gonna continue the summit in the other year. So the president of South Africa was supposed to travel to the US after this meeting to hand over the G20 summit to America to be held in the United States next year. But the president of South Africa is saying he's not going to hand over anything, because if America doesn't have the respect to send anybody to South Africa, then he's not going to hand over anything. So America said, oh, we're going to send somebody. But hear this, they're going to send a junior clerk from the embassy in South Africa to collect the G20, whatever they're giving, so that they can continue that G20 summit in America. And South Africa said as well, they're not even going to hand over that leadership to any junior clerk. It is high officials, either president or secretary of state, vice president or something like that. If it's not any high level government official, South Africa is saying they're not gonna hand over anything. So let the US figure it out. And the president gave a wonderful speech. Make sure to check it out. And that, my friends, is an example why this channel is so important, and why the mission of this channel is so important, because we need to bridge that gap. Africa and the Caribbean need to work closer together because of situations like these. We need each other now more than ever. So, my friends, subscribe to my channel, like this video, share it with all your friends and family, comment your thoughts and opinion, and let me know what you think about this topic for today of a woman being arrested and detained in Trinidad and Tobago because she posted on social media that Venezuela should attack the home of the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Kamla Persad-Bissassa. And several other persons were also detained. Comment your thoughts and opinion and let me know what you think about that. And thank you for watching today's video. My name is Beyond. This is Beyond Uncut, and I'll see you tomorrow in the next video. Much love and bye-bye.